Welcome to Comfort Africa number 2. This is my second attempt at this video. So this is a Trump video. If you're a Trump supporter, you're not going to like this video, and you should probably just scroll on and skip to the video after this video. So, first off, if you guys were fathers, you had a happy Father's Day. I'm not a father, so happy Father's Day to all of y'all. I'm about to upset you. I'm about to really upset you. So I made a video this morning on TikTok saying let Donald Trump be the king. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Yes, I hate this man with a motherfucking passion. However, hear me out. This is the worst idea I've ever had, but it's so bad that it's actually brilliant. Alright? So, I say, if we make this motherfucker the king, we make him the king in name only. He has no power over anybody in the United States. He's no longer the president. He's the king. He rides around on horse-drawn carriages, and he does this. And we can all hail to the king if we want. We don't have to, because this is America and you have your fucking freedoms, which was the reason why this country was stolen in the first place. Because everybody who left their countries, English, Irish, Spanish people, they all left because they got tired of being told what they couldn't do, couldn't say, and couldn't believe by their kings. So they left the countries, stole America from the natives, and decided, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to capture a whole bunch of black people, bring them to America, and make them work the land, and we're going to live better than we were living in our other country because the king decided how we lived. They all came to this agreement that when they came to America, there would be no fucking kings here. There would be no monarchs. There would be none of that shit. So we're clear right there. This is exactly why I said we can make him the king. We can make him the same damn way they do over there in England. King Charles, Prince William, Prince Harry, Queen, whatever her name is, and, well, Princess, whatever her name is, and Little Prince Charlotte, and all the motherfucking royals. They don't have any power over what happens in England. They literally are just figureheads. We can do that for this dumb bastard. We can make him the king in name only. Him and his entire goddamn family will never be allowed to run for any position in government. They're just going to ride around with white horses on white carts and just do this. All their business acquirements are no longer going to be under their control. They'll get the money from whatever the businesses make. But they will never, ever, ever be able to have political power. They will have no political say. Every business that they own, they would have the money, but they would not be able to have control over the business and where the company goes. Make them the motherfucking king, the queen, all that shit. Baron will have to serve 2 years in the military, just like they do in England with Prince Harry and Prince William. If he wants to be the king, let him take the suffering with the king. Because King Charles and them, they get to go sit in those fucking meetings. They get to voice their opinions. But then their opinions are thrown out the fucking window. Like, no, dude, you're just the king. You have no control over the people. You have no control over the land. You have no control over what we do in other countries. You just basically are paid to sit there and look pretty. That's it. So he can be lazy. They can turn Mar-a-Lago into his little American castle. You know, elevate it up a little bit where he can have all his little stolen government papers and shit, you know, and he can just sit there all day, play golf, go look at like 14-year-old girls and shit, and tell men who are white that their daughters are pretty at 8 and he'll be dating them in 10 years. And then we'll see how much y'all like your king. But let's make him king. Let's go ahead and make him king. Take away all of his power. Give him what little bit of money he got. Because in America, we have millionaires and billionaires. They make more money and have more money than this asshole. He wants to be the king. Knowing full fucking well, America's not going to stand for that shit. Him being the king would last about 1 month. Maybe a year at best. And then everybody going to realize the king has no give to any of you. Which is why kingdoms in all those other countries went way on the west side. All kingdoms fall. All kingdoms fall. That's why America has lasted so long, because we didn't have no motherfucking king. That's why other countries took the same fucking route and said, you know what? You can be the king, but you ain't got no motherfucking power. You got money? Great. you can make your appearances. But as far as what the people want, you got no say in that shit. So you ride in your little white horse and buggies, you make appearances. And from there on, then you carry your ass back to Mar-a-Lago and you play golf. That's what your kingdom does. You play golf. The rest of the world can keep moving on, persecuting for it. He can make his little kingdom appearances. Like, hi, it's King Trump, little King Barron, and then Barron's 18. So he turns 18. Year 1, military. Year 2, military. Make it a requirement. Because every other country in the world requires their men to serve 2 years base in the military. BTS are all about to get out of the military. They all went in, they're all getting out. Alright? The youngest one went in last, and he should be coming out. Well, the youngest two, because they just announced that the youngest two should be getting out. The other ones have already served, so they're going to be free. Every man in South Korea is required by their law to serve 2 years in the military. America's the only country that doesn't have that. But since Prince Harry and Prince William had to serve 2 years in the military for England, it was required by their law. Hey, let's go ahead and make it mandatory here. If you are the son of the king, you're going to serve in the military for 2 years. Now, granted, Donald Trump Jr. has aged out, but Barron has aged in. Let's make this shit right. He wants to be the king. Let's treat him like all the other kingdoms in the world. Your child is going to serve, motherfucker. Now, we're not going to let him know, the world know what unit he's in, so that just like Prince William and King William Jr., whatever the fuck, will be safe. You know, we won't send him into combat zones. If his unit has to go into a combat zone, we'll just transfer him into a unit that came out. You know, because that way the kingdom can still be safe. So, let that set in for a minute. Let this fucking punk ass bitch be the goddamn king of America. Make sure his son serves. His daughters are free, they don't have to serve. But make sure his sons and his grandchildren all serve 2 mandatory years. No exceptions. You want to be the king? Sins of the father are paid for by that of the son. Barron's 18. Boom! Military T-22. 1920. No, okay, I might have given him a few extra years, but he's 18, so if he goes in at 19, he'll be 20, 21 when he comes out. Make it a thing. No, let's give this rich racist bastard what he wants. Let's make him the fucking king. Let's go ahead and put him on those little white carriages and horses, and he'll just be waving his little ass off. And then his little punk ass son will have to go to the military for 2 fucking years. Game on, motherfucker. Your daddy the king. Your daddy ain't got no power over nobody. He just the king. Which means his kingly duties are now your kingly duties. And all you're going to do for the rest of your life is ride around and do this. They'll have it made. Little Melania will be up in there looking pretty because she's the prettiest one. Little Ivanka and all the grandkids and even Tiger Woods, they'll all be sitting there just doing that thing. But they'll have no power. They'll have absolutely no power. They'll have no say in who we go to war with. They'll have no say in anything political. They just ride in horse carriages doing that. And that will solve all this kingdom dictator bullshit. He can go talk to Putin. He can stay over there all goddamn day. I'm the king of America. I'm the king of America. I'm the king of America. Yep. And Putin's already laughing at him. So, you know, this is just going to be bad comedy. And Putin's just going to be laughing some more. This motherfucker's the king of America. He's got nothing. And he'll have nothing. Because the simple fact is this. If America had a king, the king would have been taken out a long goddamn time ago. Y'all might not like how I said that, but it's the fucking truth. The reason why America was stolen from the natives was because of kingdoms. And you think that shit won't happen over here where people will resist and fight the king? Yesterday's parade, no King Day, proved that shit right off the fucking bat. Literally, it proved it. So for everyone who thought this was funny, it was. There's no way in hell this man will ever be king. You know, all you racist people might want him to be king. But then you forgot something. If you're poor and you're white, he don't give a fuck about you. If you're a veteran and you're white or female, he don't give a fuck about you either. And y'all voted for this motherfucking shit. So when he's pumping your little 6-year-old full of sperm because he's already told 3 white men that he was going to date their daughter, you can go Google it. Go ahead. The videos are out there. I only thought about 2, which were more recent. I didn't know about the one in the 90s. And then I found out about the one in the 90s most recently. So in the 90s, he came down the escalator and told a man that he would be dating his daughter in 2 years. In 8 years or whatever. In the more recent, he did that again to an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. You know, maybe she was 6, but he literally said that he would be dating one of them in like 12 years when they'll be 18, and the other one in 10 years when they'll be 18. And I'm going to tell you this, and I hope this makes you mad. I really do. Let me have been that white man in 1992 when this motherfucker didn't have no Secret Service, won't running for the presidency, just got off a motherfucking Soul Train, and came at me, and I'm a white man. Don't see me as what you see. See me as a white man. And he goes, you have a very lovely daughter. How old is she? Well, she's 8. I'll be dating her in 10 years. You'll be coming out of that coma in 10 years because I will leap off that motherfucking escalator and beat your lily white ass until I can't. You're going to tell me to my face, a grown-ass man to another grown-ass man who has his daughter with him, because so many dads don't spend time with their daughters, that you going to be fucking my daughter when she turns 18. I wish I thought that shit and let me be a fucking white man where I could get away with anything. Shit. The ass whooping this man would have got for that shit would have been unacceptable. They would have been like, damn, what the fuck you do this for? Said, this motherfucker literally just told me he gonna be fucking my daughter in 8 years when she's a fucking teenager. Not while I'm breathing, he won't. And they'll be hauling me to jail, and they'll be hauling him to the hospital. He will be in a coma until my daughter's 28. You understand me? When he come out of fucking coma, he ain't gonna be thinking about using his dick. He could be thinking, well, what the fuck happened? Literally in 1992, let me have been that motherfucking white man. He would have never been president. He would have never thought about being president because he wouldn't be able to use his body. It's 1992, I'm a white man on an escalator, and another white man who's richer than me by far gonna sit there and tell me, Holly, that's a pretty nice daughter. How old is she? She's 8. I'll be dating her until, what? Right there. Like, you stay right here. You call the cops. This motherfucker's done. I'm leaping off that motherfucking escalator, Spider-Man style. Flying dragon kicking this motherfucker Bruce Lee style. Every bone in his body gonna be broke. Every bone. And if it ain't a bone, it's gonna be broke too. I'm gonna break his fucking lip, break his goddamn ear, break every fucking finger, every fingernail. And this is me. I am not a daddy. I have no children. But if I was that white man in 1992 on that motherfucking escalator when this motherfucker came out of his mouth with, I'm going to be dating your 8-year-old in 10 years, this motherfucker wouldn't have been out of the hospital for a good 30. Every bone in his body would have been broken. And for all of y'all who support him and don't think that there's something wrong with a grown man of 48, 50 fucking years old telling another grown man that he's going to be dating his daughter in 10 years when she's 18, then you're fucking insane. And you are all having problems up here. Because I know for a fucking fact, I don't know why that white man didn't do it. But had he said that shit to a black man or an Asian man, he never made it to the presidency. He would have never made it to the presidency. Because, you know, that's my daughter. You talking about something, you gonna be fucking my daughter in 10 years? Shit, alright. And today's the last day you taking a step anywhere, buddy. You got $1 million, I'm going to jail. But I'm gonna make enough money to get bail. When me standing before the judge, and the judge will be like, so, let's say the last name is Mr. Smith, because that's the most popular name in America. So, Mr. Smith, would you like to explain to us why you jumped off the escalator and commenced to throw Mr. Trump a beat down from hell? It's 1992. Do you realize who you just beat up? Yes, Your Honor. Do you not understand what that man said to me about my daughter? Well, my gosh, what did he say to you, Mr. Smith? First, he asked me, how old was my daughter? He gave her a compliment at first, like, you have a beautiful daughter. How old is she? I told him that she was 8. This fucker had no fucking filter and decided that he was going to tell me I'll be dating her in 10 years. He took that exactly how it sounded. And I commenced to beat that motherfucker ass. So, you want to get me for assault? That's fine. I didn't kill him. I thought about it. But then I thought about my daughter. I can't protect her from him. But I can. Because when he get out of the hospital, he ain't going to be working his dick no more. It's like, yeah, we want to talk about that. He is going to get out of the hospital. He's fine. Except for every bone in his body has been broken. And we want to ask you, before we sentence you to however many years we're going to sentence you, because there's a jury over here. How the fuck did you break his lip? That's what we want to know. How did you break his lip? A lip can't be broken. But his lip is broken. How did you do that? Motherfucker, I was determined. There'll be another video, because I'm getting another phone call.